There was, of course, mention of Manchester and the Metrolink expansion with the announcement of a new regional fund to support capital growth, etc. And therefore there should be some funds flowing into our region, which is clearly something great for the region and something to be thankful for. There will be reductions in NIC in respect of new businesses set up outside London. Interesting, there was a focus on businesses being created outside the London and South region, and therefore new businesses being set up with the first 10 new employees in those businesses would receive up to £5,000 of NIC cuts. In respect of VAT, as people will have seen, the headline rate went from 17.5% to 20%, although it's only effective from 4th of January, allowing the retailers to get their sales started earlier to benefit from that. Perhaps many will be relieved, in fact I'm sure many will be relieved, that the zero rating which was expected to be affected, things like food, certain food items and children's clothing, which are at the moment not subject to VAT, and whilst we were expecting them to be subject to VAT of some level, the Chancellor announced that he does not expect to change that over the next Parliament. In the manifesto, it was pledged that they would try to reduce the rate of corporation tax to 25%. The Chancellor announced a 1% cut per annum for the next 4 years, bringing the rate from 28% down to 24%. That actually means that in respect of our comparisons to the rest of the world, we will be the 5th lowest headline corporation tax rate in the G20. Be funded in part from capital allowances coming down. Many had feared that it would be slashed massively. In actual fact, it only came down from 20% to 18%, although one shouldn't forget that it wasn't that long ago that it was at 25%, so it is quite a big reduction over the last few years we've seen in the capital allowances, which is the relief for depreciation in effect of certain assets. In respect of taxation, it was clear there were a number of things that he could have done and was talking about doing and wanted to do, but actually what was surprise for an emergency and unavoidable budget was that he didn't actually go as far as people had feared. So for example, capital gains tax rates, which will go up from midnight tonight to 28%, was widely expected to go up to 40 or even 50%. Clearly 28% is a far better rate, and most of my clients would have said 25% was at the level where it's just about palatable. He's gone a bit higher than that, but probably still leaves it where people will breathe a sigh of relief and probably will not talk about going abroad as much as they were when it was expected to go to 40 or 50% tax rates.